Yo guys, sorry, you already know that today we're back playing some more Raging Loop. On the last time, things kept going crazy. You already know what it is. Apparently we have plans to try and escape tomorrow. However, I do have to mention, when I opened the game today, one of the little labels is called The Final Night, so that's a little ominous. That makes me think that there might not be another night after this night. Is that also, is that how it's referenced in the chart? Probably in the detailed chart, is it? Yeah, it's just called, like, The Final Night. So that's fun. It looks like there's, I don't know, no. Okay, that's just, I saw the blue lines going to the right. I was like, does that mean that there's, like, a path going off to the right as well? But no, that's just, what they're on. But yeah, this is called The Final Night. So, I think we should just get into it and see if we, can't, I don't know, die and get a key or something. Or get some more answers today. But what kind of death would that get me? Would I be injured, wandered in some other world, something else entirely? I believe he's talking about the plan to escape and go through the Saranaga or something. Or perhaps to be eaten by a monster. I still have that incomprehensible memory, but it was enough to make me suspect that it was the most likely scenario. Normally people didn't remember dying. The unknown was scary, but journeying into the unknown meant conquering that fear, so you could say there were some perks to remembering that death. But if it was guaranteed that I would die like that, I wasn't really keen on the idea. That had hurt like hell. Not to mention how terrifying the experience was. Then think of a better way to die. One that won't hurt so much. Or at least would be worth the pain. Like if it led to the survival of a young child. Anyway, I'd wager my life. All that remained was finding supporters. I closed my eyes and took a few deep breaths. Whoosh. I threw a Yakuza kick into the wall. Rah! Then I did a low kick with the other leg. Ha! The 7 treasures have finally been lost to the elements. The sacred orb reduced to rust. In the jungle of the decadent void, the Buddha's corpse shouts out, "Rah!" I have no idea what he's talking about. He's just hyping himself up. As I sang the Buddha's ash rock, I attacked the wall with my ass, which prompted a response from the other side. Shut up! I heard Jimmy's angry voice through the front door. You sound like you enjoyed it. No one would know how to react to that. The walls here were thin, apparently. Anyway, let's escape tomorrow. This is your idea of a conversation? If you can still talk like that, you're perfectly sane. Escape it is. Let's say bye-bye to this nest full of crazy. Listen, Haruaki-san. I'm serious. Still outside my door, she fell silent. It was only about 8. Still a safe time. I walked up to the door and unlocked it. Damn, you look awful. Is it that bad? Nah, just joking. What's with the jokes? You my boyfriend now or something? You put on a tough face, but it's a mask hiding some supernatural suffering, isn't it? Come on, talk to me. Well, don't if you don't want to. Take a seat. Pardon the intrusion. Alone in an empty room, we sat cross-legged and looked at each other. Tell me what happened during the feast today. Who are the wolves? I don't know. Hell, I don't even care anymore. The situation was hopeless. She felt the same way. So far, there wasn't a single lynching with a good reason behind it, and it didn't feel like they'd gotten lucky and killed a wolf. If only that scrawny rich guy were a wolf. It'd be so easy to hate him. Takumi said he's clean, so that's not likely. I know. But still, assuming Yasunagi-kun was actually a wolf, I really doubted he was cold-hearted enough to keep up the active human while seeing off his brother to her death. Like Champion pointed out, it was best to assume Kaori-san had only done what she did for her son. If everyone died and only one was left, he'd be the victor regardless of if he was a human or wolf, probably. Whatever the case, it was important to note that it was wrong to guess whether Yasunagi-kun was a wolf based on this alone. Kaori Oribe was in a messed up mental state that led her to plot the deaths of herself and everyone else just to save her son. It was simply the immense power of motherly love at work. I'd messed it up by sending Hiro-chan to the second floor. Kaori-san probably resented me for that. Not to mention I was the one who'd pinned her down. Being the target of a dead person's enmity was a rare experience, and in my opinion, it was uncomfortable. Turns out I couldn't follow your example. My example? Yeah, I tried to think and did stuff, but, well, was I a bad influence on her? Well, carefully deliberating your actions was never a bad thing, obviously. Also, it was worth noting she pointed out that Yasunagi-kun trying to guilt-trip her wasn't like him. Her own intuition was important, too. Besides him, there was Tai-san, who believed nothing but the superstitions, Haru-chan, who always agreed with Yasunagi-kun, and Miko, the one who sealed Kaori-san's fate. Everyone is suspicious. Yeah, that's why I don't care who it is anymore. Chibi hung her head. I've decided to help Miko-chan. How, by running away with her? I'm telling you, it's pointless. It's better than just sitting around waiting for death, isn't it? And if she turns out to be a wolf, you'd be down one. Lucky day, huh? Yeah, except for she's already confirmed monkey, so good try. Would it be? I don't know anymore. I killed someone. She said it casually, but I could tell it was hard for her to say. It's not your fault. I responded equally casually. It felt like breaking the illusion would be too much to handle. Wow, it's like you don't care at all. But you were against it, weren't you? Not stopping the murder makes me a partner in crime, doesn't it? I'm the same in that regard. Oh, right. Also, the law would understand that you made the wrong decisions because of the circumstances. Law, huh? Well, being punished under proper rule of law is infinitely better than being punished by some weird laws of some mountain. Or, what, do you want to die a supernatural death? No dice, huh? Yeah. Man, this is complicated. Is it God's fault? Half of it, yeah. But you can't explain the other half. Right. Then talk about God, at least. How do I put this? God is misfortune. Well, I don't mean that literally. It's just that it's because of God that we can't attain happiness. Is God visible? Yeah, we've all seen it. But its true form, might be invisible. Let me ask about the visible part. Is it human? The Solian hesitantly, she gave me a light nod. Is it someone from Yasubizu? Silence, neither yes or no. Then is it someone from Kamafujiyoshi? She kept her silence. Her shoulders were shaking a bit. Then, no. It's not human. You can deal with humans, but God is beyond them. Shit, I knew it'd go like this. Calm down and explain, otherwise we'll both be killed. Fine, I just want this nightmare to be over already. Hey, Haruaki-san, kill me. If it's at your hands, I think I can really die. What are you saying? Get a hold of yourself. I am. I'm not corrupted. I'm not insane. I'm not. It's Fujiyoshi that's crazy. It's God that's crazy. Is God some state of being? I just kind of blurted out something while thinking. Chimmy was clearly in a state of panic. The despair was one cause, but someone panicked like this couldn't explain themselves properly. Also, I didn't feel like this was simply some spiritual being she could see. She could perceive God as a sensation of sorts, and the fact others couldn't cause her to panic. Explaining a sense like that wasn't easy, and trying to explain it in detail was also a reminder of how much it scared her. I had to try to understand what she was sensing and find a better word for it than God. That was what I thought to myself after saying those words, but why did she suddenly go quiet? She was raising her head and her eyes were wide, staring right at me. She completely stopped voicing her pain. Why does her face look scarier now? Did I hit the nail on the head? As I considered that possibility, I felt a cold, damp breeze from behind me. I'm so dead. She wasn't staring at me. She was staring at something behind me. I turned around, following the direction of her eyes. How long had the front door been open? Had I forgotten to lock the door? Oh, what the heck is that? And how long had that thing been there? Interesting. There was a person outside. Was it even human? That flash of red usually means that I die, or I'm about to die. Through the darkness, I could see that it definitely had a humanoid silhouette, but it was definitely abnormal. Its body was covered in bandages. No, sutras? It was a smallish boy or girl, covered in marked cloth. Again, was it even human? I asked the same question again, unable to even voice the words. I couldn't move a finger, or rather, I didn't because I had no idea what would have happened if I did. As the tension began to overwhelm me, I saw its lips move. Oh gosh. The wolves cometh. To the smell of Yomi. Cleanse, shelter, and dream. Now, wait a minute. I have other voices turned up. So, if this is a voice of a character that we haven't met before, then it should be voicing something. But it's not? So does that mean that it is someone that we've met before? Because that's very scary. Daughter of Fujiyoshi. A howl. I'm pretty sure I'm dying right here. No? I heard something fall. Turning back around, I realized it was Jemmy. Jemmy? Still confused, I rushed over and caught her. It was a momentary loss of consciousness. She hadn't fainted. She just seemed to be drifting at the border of reality. Hey, wake up. Why am I here? What was that thing? What thing? Weird, I'm so sleepy. Sorry, I'm going back. Jemmy stood up. Her eyes were utterly devoid of life. She headed to the door. It was closed. There was no one there. I set that matter aside for now. Jemmy was way more important. I had to stop her. That was why I'll take you out of here. Wrap my arms around her. If you want to throw away your life, give it to me. Tomorrow morning, I'll take you and Mako and leave this place. You and Mako? Not just you? That was her first response in a while. Well, you entrusted her to me. I'll honor the trust you showed me until the end. Man of integrity, huh? You noticed? Well, there's also the fact that I'm just not too keen on letting a child die. Even if it's like minor spoilers, I would like confirmation that that voice should have said something if it was not related to a character that we've met before, right? Like, I'm not going crazy because I'm going to keep thinking about that, and if that's completely wrong and the game is just like, you know, leading me astray by not being coded properly or something like that, like, let me know, because I want to know if I should be thinking along that wavelength, because I am until I'm told otherwise. The fact that character was, you know, the voice was silent. And I know this is one of those things that people are like, well, if you had all the voices on, maybe you could try and figure it out yourself, but no, I'm not doing it like that. So, there should have been a voice if it was an unrelated character, I think. But just let me know if I'm off on that. You've dropped the tough guy act, Haruaki-san. Also, when did you drop the honorific? You don't like it? I don't mind. It's just, shouldn't there be a transition point for these kinds of things? Go out with me. Sure. So, let's get out of here. Okay. Just so you know, I'm only saying that because I don't mind dying with you. Sorry, but Make a Chance barely blipped my radar. That's not very responsible, is it? Chami-san is a girl with many brain problems, so she prefers to rely on people older than her. Leave it to me. Also, we're taking anyone who wishes to join us. What? I'm not getting some special treatment here? You are. The others have a choice, but now that we're dating, I'm taking you whether you like it or not. Okay. Not sure I'm happy about that one. Did you know I'm actually not a very popular guy? Ha ha ha. Haraki-san. Thanks. Her teary voice compelled me to embrace her. If I'm killed by the wolves tonight, don't say that. I don't care what. Take a part of me outside. Don't worry. I'm scared. I'm right here. I'm here for you. It hurt to say baseless things. Even so, I kept on saying whatever I could to make you feel better. This went on for only 10 or so minutes, though. Even if the wolves didn't pay us a visit, we'd have to respect the rules of living here. We awkwardly exchanged some parting words, and I saw her off as she returned to her room, her parting ways with a frail smile on her damn face. Okay, I'm glad they cleared that up. I was just like, we're in here too long. We're going to break the rules, and then we're just going to die that way, and we learn nothing. Tomorrow. Everything would be decided tomorrow. Alright, it's tomorrow. Let's see. Another morning. Aside from being really hungry, I woke up the same as always. I hadn't died. The only real difference this morning was that I could go outside as I pleased. It was still misty out, and I couldn't see much beyond the dorm. A settlement isolated in mist, a space cut away from the world. Could we really leave this place? We could. It had to be physically possible. The idea that we couldn't was just speculation, no matter how much this place defied reality. What was that thing? Why had Chami collapsed? How sane were we? Was this even really happening? Human senses and memories often lie to us, though just dismissing anything that didn't make sense as an illusion wasn't a good idea. That thing had actually visited us. It appearance was strange, but I had little proof that it was something supernatural. Thus, that had to be human. As for the reason Chami collapsed, there were quite a few possibilities. I'm trying to look at the physical characteristics to see, like, is it related to someone that I know? I don't know. Unless it was a trick she'd schemed with that thing beforehand. That being had to have been too much for her to handle emotionally. What did the thing say again? The wolves cometh to the smell of Yomi, cleanse, shelter, and dream, daughter of Fujiyoshi, was it? Basically seemed like a fancy way of saying, get back to your room and sleep. So it was a warning from those who made the rules. Then was that something on the mountain? Great Lord Shinai side? No, to be honest, I'd say it was more like something from the other side. I mean, it kind of fit my image of Yomi Bito. It wore sutures in place of clothing, and the cloth over its face reminded me of a funeral shroud. The word corruption seemed particularly fitting. It had a really sinister aura, to me anyway. Though that was strange. Great Lord Shinai was the enemy of the forces from Yomi. Yomi Bito wouldn't act as his messengers. This contradiction. It was quite eerie, an alluring unknown. But that didn't matter now. My goal was to let Chami and any supporters we gathered escape. Well, let's see if Chami's even alive. I returned to the room, made my futon, and started searching again. The futon was the only thing in the closet. There was nothing I could use as a weapon. I gave up, left the room, and went to Chami's. If the worst had come to pass, I had to fulfill her last request. The door was locked. I knew it. So the wolf was... I knocked. She came out after just a few seconds. Apparently, she was already ready to go. I want a weapon. I figured. She gave me a pretty large knife with a sheath, probably used for hunting. Makes sense. Got anything for yourself? I lost my kitchen knife, so you'll have to protect me, alright? Sure. I had zero confidence in pulling it off, but sometimes bravado was important to hold on to. We went to Haru-chan's room. It wasn't locked. The room was no bigger than the others, but it was a huge mess. But it didn't look like there was a corpse present. She'd either already woken up and went outside without locking the door, or her corpse was somewhere outside, like Yoshitsugu-kun. I gained a habit of expecting the worst. What about Yasunaga-kun? The same. Let's check Omeko. Today's mist was denser than usual. Just extending my arm was enough to make my hand hazy and indistinct. I kept on walking, knife in my right hand and Chami's hand in my left. The sediment was way too quiet. We headed for the village plaza. I almost tripped a few times on the field path, but Chami kept me on my feet with just a few warnings. I'd keep going as long as she was with me. We arrived at the plaza. There was no one there. Basically, there was no need to use the dining hall as the go-to gathering spot anymore. We passed Rikaku Uematsu's house. It didn't look unlocked, but I couldn't hear any indications of movement from inside. Was she asleep? Or did something happen to her? Whatever the case, I had no choice but to ignore her. Yeah, please don't go back to that door. It was here, right? Yeah. Mako's place was open? Uh-oh. Thankfully, all I found inside was just a messy futon. It was the same as Haru-chan's room. But now that it had happened with 3 people, it was safe to assume something wasn't right. Chami, sorry, but you can have this back. Huh? I gave her the knife and grabbed a stick lying against the house. What's wrong? I need a weapon I can actually use. That aside, where do we go next? The hall, right? As it turned out, that was exactly where the other inhabitants were. With the exception of one, anyway. You're late, or maybe we're early. Haru Makishima, she was in her usual agitated state. Tai Yamawaki, she was silently chanting something to herself. Mako, Haru-chan had her hands on her shoulders, but she still looked anxious. And finally, good morning, Chine. Alright, so, what's his face? The outsider guy is probably the one that died. And Haruaki Fusaishi-san. Yasunaga Oribe, his face was grim. Those were all the people here, meaning that... So they finally got Nosato-san, huh? A simple process of elimination was to know who was gone. Anyway, it was time for the first battle. Mako, come here. She tried to walk to us. No! But Haru Makishima stopped her. It was time. I raised my stick and... Huh? So you finally reveal your true colors, Fusaishi-san. Yasunaga Oribe stood in my way. He had a menacing grass sickle in his right hand. He readied it for a swing at me. You're the cause of all the misery here. It's the end, so I knew it would come down to pure strength. No way, huh? What? You were tricked. He's the one who caused all this. Not letting him join the feast was a mistake. If we'd hanged him, Mom, Yoshitsugu, and everyone else would still be alive. Wait, that's... We'll hang him today. That will end everything. Yasunaga-kun, you shouldn't try to advance the situation based on a story no one knows. What about you? Why did you try to attack? Oh, good point. I'll tell you. I want to take back the hostage. But that's... Well, before that, let me just help Chimi-chan understand. Look how confused she is. Huh? What? They didn't say another word. Chimi and Mako were the only ones who seemed confused at all. Basically, the others had prepared for this. Ignoring who's the wolf here, there's two important things you gotta keep in mind. First, yesterday, I told Mako that I wanted to escape the settlement with her. It's best to assume everyone heard that. Escaping the village is taboo, I know that. The question is whether letting someone escape makes you a target of the corruption. That was why you secured Mako first thing in the morning, and I can totally understand that. The other thing is that Shami and Yasunaga-kun ended up on opposing sides yesterday. Owing to that, today's feast would be a one-on-one between them. Since Haru-chan would almost always take Yasunaga's kun's side, he'd have an advantage. But with Tai-san and Mako as swing votes, his victory wasn't guaranteed. That's why you decided that reconciling with Chimi and going after the only outsider here was the safest way, right? You're wrong. I'm not. That's why you took Mako as a hostage. You want me silenced. No, I just let you take her as hostage and ask us to do horrible things. Well, what I gained from that? I mean, I'm not part of the feast. You agreed to that yourself, didn't you? That was a mistake. If it's not you, then who else could be the cause of everything here? Haru-chan and I lost family. Taiba lost Takumi-san. We all lost people important to us. And who didn't lose anything? Only you, Haruaki Fusaishi-san. Oh. So that was the story, huh? Sorry, Yasunaga-kun. But you're a bad storyteller. You seem to have a habit of putting up a wall of well-spoken words when lying and putting on an act. Please stop messing around. Oh, but I'm not, Yasunaga-kun. You're trying way too hard to manipulate people using their emotions. You also underestimate Chami by thinking you can just use that as a smokescreen for the holes in your story. Well, from an emotional standpoint, blaming me for everything is definitely the easiest way. But on the other hand, you're selling yourself short. You're calm, cool, collected, the type of guy who argues against adult absurdity with facts and logic. Please stop with the pointless analysis. Well, that's something for the villagers to decide, not me. They're the ones who've watched you for years. Of course, I understand you went through something difficult enough to change you. Then let me ask you this. Are you blaming everything on the outsider because you've lost your own emotions? Or are you actually acting rationally to make sure you hang me and waste today's feast so you can tip the scales in your favor? As in, are you someone who'd benefit from wasting today's lynching? What do you think, Chami? She gasped and looked at Yasunaga Oribe. There was a suspicion in her eyes, not trust. You could have just said that I was a wolf. Yet you didn't. You just said I'm the cause of all this, because you're a wolf yourself. You hate lying, don't you? You know, when the chips are down, you have to commit to the lie. Shine, you're gonna believe him? Making an emotional appeal in the face of cold logic is a bad move here. You need to fight logic with logic until the very end. Shut up, what do you know? You just wasted time not doing anything because you couldn't. You had a point there. I did feel like shit about that. I should have joined the feast from the get-go. If I had, I wouldn't have wasted time on pointless arguments and autopsies. However, you know, right here, there's a guy who can think for himself, but just played along with some dumb superstition, letting both his brother and mother die. As an adult, I'm really mad at him, Yasunaga-kun. Once I said that, Yasunaga Oribe hung his head and fell silent. 10 seconds of silence were enough for everyone to realize he'd lost the argument. However, the expression on his face, oh gosh, is he gonna kill us, was abnormally calm. True, I really am a wolf. He spoke as if it wasn't a big deal. But you're misunderstanding a few things. But that just made it seem even more abnormal. We've already won. Oh gosh. I believe that... Wait. Why? There's 2 wolves and 3 non-wolves. So technically, how would you? He tossed away the grass sickle. His voice wasn't nearly as passionate as before. It was cold and rational. He demonstrated confidence rooted in sound logic. But I couldn't understand what he meant. Other wolf, please reveal yourself. What was the point of that? Are you sure, Yasukun? Yes, that's enough. I'm the other wolf. I couldn't make sense of this. Had he decided to graciously concede by selling out his partner now that he'd been cornered? No, he said he'd already won. Even if there were 2 wolves, there were 4 of us. Is there something up with Haru, maybe? I'm not sure. They'd lose in votes. My answer came from a completely unexpected direction. Nichan, you and Taiba really are the wolves. A shout of pure, unadulterated joy. Haru Makishima became the least comprehensible of anyone present. She ran to Yasunaga Oribe and hugged him. He hesitated for a moment, but reciprocated. Yeah, something's up with Haru. Meiko, still as clueless as ever, slowly walked over to us. Oni-chan, I'm sorry, hide behind Shimi. Haraki-san, what is this? I don't know. I really didn't, but I had a feeling that something wasn't quite right for a while now, and I suspected it'd be made clear now. I was certain of it, and it left me feeling uneasy. Okay, you have the initiative here. Can you explain? Taiba, you do it. Fine. I've been relying on you too much all this time. So she wasn't even denying it. Shi-chan, Meiko-chan. Not me? This is something I never told you. A long time ago, when I was still a girl, Kami Fujiyoshi's people got drunk and revealed the truth behind the Feast of the Yomi Purge. The truth. Tayamawaki told us a story that was very similar to the legend they told in the strange village. Well, it was less like it was similar, and more like I was looking at it from the opposite angle. Interesting. The part about Great Lord Shirai sending the 5 guardians to help people was the same. 4 of them had then teamed up with humans to murder the wolves. However, in the real story, the good and bad sides were completely reversed. Okay, I believe someone brought up the possibility of giving the making the wolves believe that they're on the right side of it, and that would be reason to justify them murdering people and whatnot. So this lines up. Apparently, the people in the 4 guardians joined Yomi on the very first feast of the Yomi Purge. Basically, all of them were Yomi Bito. They all ganged up on, overpowered, and expulsed the wolves who tried to resist until the very end. That meant this land had belonged to the Yomi Bito for a long time. The wolves were summoned here by none other than Shinai-sama himself. Some people of the Yasumizu were given the blessing of the wolves and had to free Yasumizu of its Yomi Bito. Basically, it was a holy war for them, and that was the truth behind the Feast of the Yomi Purge. Tayamawaki continued her explanation. At first, we thought the people of Kami Fujiyoshi just made it up to make fun of us, but we found out it was true when we became blessed by Shinai-sama himself. So you see, Chi-chan, that's why we had to slay everyone. It hurt a lot, though. Takumi suffered greatly, too. But we had to do it to save the Yomi Bito. That's what Shinai-sama said. Tayamawaki was crying, alright? So she was now a confirmed culprit who believed the murders to be a salvation. So what's Haru's story? Then there were just 2 more points I didn't understand. The corruption and the eerie message. Most things made sense if you switched Shinai-sama's enemies and allies. The idea that people wearing those outfits could be the good guys was kind of weird, but, well, that was the culture here. Or maybe only the Yomi Bito, me too, saw them as evil? Maybe that was the story here? The problem here was that I didn't know that. Shemi didn't know this. I only found out when I was blessed. So even Yasunaga-kun didn't know about it. I remembered some of his words. This is just something I heard from a teacher at school, but you could do it by giving them something to fight for, could you? Yeah, he was the one that brought that up. Okay. Basically, you need to make them think that they're doing the right thing. He really hated lies, didn't he? He basically told me the truth of things. This feast actually had a system that made zealous murderers of people. Whatever, enough about Yasunaga Oribe. Then why do Haru-chan know? She was glad when she realized Yasunaga Oribe was a wolf. Basically, she already knew the real story, that the wolves were the good guys. Why? Who told her? The Ukami-sama told me. They showed up in my dreams on the day Oji-chan died and told me about it. Nonsense. Insanity. Did she seriously decide to throw her life away over a dream? But on the day Oji-chan died, he died the night before Haru-chan tried to run away from the settlement. She believed the dream. She started to despair over being surrounded by Yomi Bito and planning to escape. That made sense. But I did think that Taiba would know the real story. There was no way she couldn't. But she didn't say it, so I thought that maybe she was a wolf. And I began to think the same thing about Nichan when we talked. It all clicked. She believed. She believed the sudden revelation despite a lack of proof, and that the man she liked was in the minority that had justice on their side. And right now, she said she would betray the humans and join the wolves. Oh, so she's basically just acting irrationally. Kind of. She believed Yasunaga Oribe was right with all her heart. And so, the wolf Yasunaga Oribe had 3 votes for the feast. So he was able to talk Haru on to his side. Interesting. I can't be killed even if Shiene and Meiko both vote for me. Even if you bend the rules and count Fusaishi's vote, then it'd still just be 3. You couldn't choose 1 even if we did a final vote. And now, without either wolf dying, we win. It was easy. I saw it clearly now. I understood. Haruaki-san. Is he... Yeah, Yasunagi-kun's right. You? No, we lose. Everyone had different reactions to my words. Chimmy backed away and gasped. Tai Yamawaki closed her eyes and sighed. Mako didn't seem to understand anything. Yasunaga Oribe didn't react at all. Haru Makishima was smiling. Oh man. All I really had left was struggling, like the filthy, annoying adult I was. Haru-chan. What? Oh, Nichan, what will happen to Fusaishi-san? I'll ignore him if he doesn't interfere. I see. Was that relief just now? Sorry, but I couldn't enjoy my sudden jump in popularity. We don't have to slay him? Shinai-san will do something if need be. That dispassionate tone didn't do much to convince me that he truly believed this ridiculous superstition. But you won't ignore this, will you? Who knows? Honestly, if you're the good guys, I don't know if I should help the Yomibito side. Haruaki-san? You're cooler than I thought. We city folk value a well-reasoned argument. I want to say I misjudged you. It's the right decision. Very right, in fact. Big words. Hey, what the hell? You said you liked Shinnei, didn't you? And now you're going to abandon her? Good point. Well, yeah, I was pretty damn cold-blooded. I'm not too fond of being hit where it hurts, so I guess I'll respond. Haru-chan, what? You know you're going to die, right? You're okay with that? Huh? This was pretty damn bad, honestly. Apparently this great Lord Shinai was a huge scumbag. Should have told her that much. Yeah, like, you understand that you're still a human, therefore you're still an enemy of the wolves, right? Even if you've been told the real story, you're still human. You haven't become a wolf, have you? You didn't kill Takumi-san or Nosato, right? I didn't. I don't know why, but you're just a human who knows the real story. That's why the human's defeat will mean your death. You said you thought Yasunagi-kun might have been a wolf when you talked together, right? I don't think he would ever let anything like that slip, so he probably realized your role from the way you were acting. He was probably trying to lead you by showing hints, but not revealing his identity in order to test whether you join him. The wolves probably knew there was a human who had that role. What of it? He actually said that? This was the part where he was supposed to start lying. By not denying that, you basically admitted that you were an absolute scumbag who used Haru-chan knowing that you'd have to kill her. He was that bad at lying? Then how did he survive for so long? Wait. Something was very wrong. I seriously misunderstood something here. And soon enough, my hunch was proven right. Seriously. Oh gosh. What of it? Haru-chan? Haru Makishima's voice was brimming with joy. A carefree smile, laced with seductive intoxication. Yamabito need to be hung. We're corrupt, filthy, and disgusting. We can only be saved by the wolves, walls, and claws. Everyone knows that. Okay, so she is just willing to die. And, yeah, we did not take that into consideration. That's why you finished off Kaori-san, right? You wanted to make your mother happy. Yeah. Exactly. Nichan, make me happy too. Haru Makishima coquettishly? Sure, that's a word, if you say so. Leaned on him. Yasunaga Oribe brought her closer without even a flicker of emotion crossing his face. Tai Yamawaki watched them with a broad smile. What? What the hell? What were these people? So, Shinnei, what will you do? If you listen to me, I'll save you. I underestimated it. I underestimated the madness of Yasumizu. And I realized too late that the Feast of the Yomi Purge wasn't just a system where zealous murderers killed each other. There was something here that completely shattered the people on a fundamental level. It was like a gear of madness. Those who knew the real story found salvation in death. That insane tale instantly convinced people that it was right to agree and to find peace in that. And I was actually surrounded by those very people. Understanding that made me remember. Oh my gosh. Oh, I want to play to the end of this, but I feel like this could go on for like another hour because of how much back and forth there is. Alright, I'm going to cut it here, and then I'm just going to probably just directly go into another episode. And I really hope that we loop back to something. I'm not sure where we're going to go back to. We're probably going to have to restart a lot of things over because there hasn't been a choice locked away with a key for a really long time. So I'm really interested to see what direction the story goes. But yeah, this being, you know, a visual novel, it's going to have certain scenes like this that I just have a feeling that it's going to draw itself out for like way too long. But we'll see. Maybe I'm wrong about that. Oh gosh, and I just get to listen to this creepy music over and over again. But yeah, hopefully you're enjoying. Look forward to more. If so, let me know. But I'll see you next time. So till then, peace out.